We are now recording. We are live and ready to go. Okay.
Good deal. Yeah, I don't want to penalize those of you who are on time and wait too long. I was hoping to get a few more folks, at least up to the 50% registration mark. But in any event, welcome to today's presentation on efficient workflows and intelligent integration, cleanDocs and iManage Share. We've partnered with DocsCorp for quite some time. You may have also heard Innovative speak in most of our recent webinars about multi-layered strategies to protect your highly sensitive and confidential data. There's nothing more vulnerable than sharing your documents electronically. And in the business of law, specifically delivering work product, sharing and collaborating with outside counsel, experts, and for that matter, opposing counsel and your clients is imperative. With DocsCorp cleanDocs and iManage Share, you can have confidence that the documents you share are clean, safe, and protected from undesirable access. In a moment, Bob Moore will walk you through the demo and seamless integration of these tools and give you the confidence you're looking for. As you may have heard, we're recording today's session. It'll be available on our website later today or potentially tomorrow, along with many of our other presentations. To get there, just visit our site at innovativecomp.com, click on resources, click on webinars, and you'll be able to download a copy of today's presentation that you can share and review at your convenience. By default, we've muted everyone upon entry. We hope to keep this interactive session. If you have questions, raise your hand. Before I introduce our primary presenter, just a quick introduction of myself. My name is Ted Glutz. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing at Innovative. I've got about 35 years in the legal industry, and the last 25 have been immersed in legal technology. I'm really glad to be a part of today's presentation. With that, we're glad to have with us today is our primary presenter, Bob Moore, Director of Sales at DocsCorp. Without any further delay, I'll turn it over to you, Bob.
Great. Thank you, Ted. And as Ted said, all of you who are signed up here and participating are on mute, but there is a question panel in the GoToWebinar interface, and we would love to hear your questions as we go through this presentation. Backing up from me here with technical questions to help answer your questions is one of our senior sales engineers as well, Jeremy Covey. So what I'm going to do is go through a few slides to tell you about DocsCorp, who we are. Then we're going to go through some slides to talk about what we're going to show you with cleanDocs, the general design concept and how it works, and then we'll go into the demonstration itself. So DocsCorp is a software company that started in Sydney, Australia 14 years ago. We service mainly the legal industry, but we also have many clients in industries such as utilities and government and finance and banking. Basically, what we do is we create software applications that complement document management systems. So for industries that produce and consume lots of documents, like a law firm or corporate legal department, we make tools that complement the tools you use to manage those documents. Ted gave you a description of Innovative Computing Systems. They have been a partner of ours for, I want to say, 8 or 9 years now, and one of our premier go-to partners for deploying our software, integrating it with iManage and other document management systems, and we've been thrilled to work with them for this long. Today's agenda is we are going to talk about the basic design concept of cleanDocs, and then we're going to drill down into the different ways it integrates with different platforms or applications on your desktop and or document management system, one of them being iManage Share. We'll cover the concept of our server-based cleanDocs application as well, and then we'll touch on a few points of what's coming in the near future for cleanDocs. Before I get to that, DocsCorp makes and produces and supports 4 different applications. Today we're going to look at the third one on that list, cleanDocs. We also have PDF Docs, which is a desktop PDF application. We have CompareDocs, which is a solution for comparing or redlining versions of documents. We have a desktop and cloud version of that. And then the last thing there, Content Crawler, is a server-based administrative tool that points at your document repository, whether it be iManage, your local file share, SharePoint, or all of the other legal document management systems. Then what it does, it looks for documents you have in there that do not have searchable text. It'll create a searchable PDF copy of those and save it back into that repository, for example, iManage, so that users can find any content in any document at any time. Okay, so let's drill into the basic idea about cleanDocs. Some of the key points about cleanDocs to point out is that the way we designed it, it does not need to call out to, but basically we clean documents at the binary level. There's no need for cleanDocs to call an instance of WinWord or Excel or any type of Office automation to do the cleaning. Therefore, the cleaning is very fast, very reliable, and we don't need unnecessary add-ins to clean documents. So it's the most reliable metadata cleaning application on the market and very fast. In addition to that binary cleaning that gives it reliability and speed, we can also clean multiple documents on multiple processing cores. So for as many cores as you have on your machine, we can clean that many documents at one time. So we get very good speed from it. We've developed it with different integration points that allow users to work with how they're accustomed to working. From the desktop tool, which we're going to focus on today, there's a lot of flexibility that the users can have when they are cleaning an attachment or a document in the DMS or on their desktop. So we give them lots of flexibility to do that. When you are cleaning an attachment via sending from Outlook, the copy of that attachment in your sent folder is the clean version of what was sent, and it covers all Office and PDF documents when you send them out. The basic design concept of cleanDocs is you decide what policy you want to deploy for all of your users, individual users, or groups of users, and they have a default policy that will clean based on the settings you've configured. You can then prompt users to make exceptions to that policy and or create alternative policies they can pick from to give you different cleaning experiences. So it really depends on how you want to deploy it. We, of course, have a lot of experience on this, and we can recommend the best practices to you, as well as work with you in figuring out what policies work best for your users, and it's easily configurable and easily changed as you go. You can set these policies so that users can change them as they wish, or you can lock it down so they can't change them, or somewhere in between. By default, when we are cleaning attachments sent via email, it's only going to clean email sent to an external email domain. You can, however, add other external email domains to the whitelist so that they are treated as an internal client. Likewise, you could set it up so it does clean internal emails if you're so inclined. The different deployment options, we're going to focus mainly on the desktop application today, but you can deploy a server-only version of this so users have no desktop, or a hybrid of a combination of the desktop and the server options. If you would like to see those details, let us know and we can schedule a more detailed demo on that option, on those options there. This is just another slide talking about that, of the different ways you can deploy cleanDocs desktop and or mobile. And then we're going to look at some of the roadmap issues. One of them here, a little hint, is we are developing a cloud version of cleanDocs that will integrate with Office 365. So for users who are moving off the desktop and doing something off of their iPad or their Mac at home or whatnot, we're going to be able to allow them to use cleanDocs regardless of the device they're on. With cleanDocs Desktop, like I said before, users have a high level of flexibility of what they can do as they're cleaning documents. You can integrate with Outlook as you send documents. You can clean documents in place in the local file system or in the document management system. You even have an option, if you're so inclined, to use some command line options to do some batch cleaning with the cleanDocs engine. Today in particular, we're going to look at the integration with iManage Share as terms of file share integration. We also integrate with a product called HiQ, that can clean documents as you load documents from HiQ into wherever you're loading them. And we're working on other file share tools as well. And we already touched on the design of binary cleaning and multi-core cleaning that gives it a high level of reliability and speed. Here is the core we're going to look at today. We're going to look at the different ways that cleanDocs integrates or adds into a variety of workflows on your desktop. We're going to look at how it integrates when you send an email attachment. You can clean from within an email before you send it. You can clean in place from the Windows file, right-click. You can clean within Word. You can clean from within iManage. And then finally, we're going to look at iManage Share. The reason why I'm showing that last is the experience is essentially the same for all of these, but it's just different ways that you can use it. You can also decide which of these add-ins you want to activate or not. So you can have all of these activated by default or just the ones your users need. Since we are showing this with iManage Share, I thought it would be useful to put up a slide here to talk in general about iManage Share. The idea of it is it allows you, as Ted touched on briefly, it allows you to securely share documents, oftentimes large documents, in collaborative workspaces with your clients. And the integration with cleanDocs makes sure that you are scrubbing the essential metadata you do not want released to these clients when it receives in their iManage Share portal. If you do want more details about this, again, talk to Ted or I, and we can set you up a demo to look at iManage Share in more detail. So let's go ahead and jump over to the demo here. I want to first talk about the different policies I have set up for cleanDocs that I'm going to show you. So I have a default policy set up in cleanDocs that we've called Collaborate. What that does is we're going to use a Word document as an example. It's going to assess and look for all possible metadata types in a Word document and remove all of that. However, I've set it up to prompt the user and alert the user if there are track changes and or comments there, and let the user decide if he or she wants to keep those or remove those. Why did I do that? Let's use the example of document redlining. I've compared two versions of a document, and I have output that redline as a live track changes document because I want my client to be able to use that to build the next version of the document. So those markups in the redline are live track changes. If I were to remove the track changes when I clean that, whether I'm emailing it or sending it to iManage Share, I would remove that markup. So I want the user to be able to make that choice of keep those track changes in there so the client sees my redline markup. The next policy I will show will clean all of these and leave those track changes in there without prompting the user. So again, we would work with you to help you decide which policies you want, and then help you deploy that, and I'll show you some of these examples here. So with that, I am going to switch my screens and go over to the demo here. So bear with me as I do a little finagling here of GoToWebinar, and hopefully you guys can now see my screen that has a new email open up here. Ted, are you able to see that to confirm?
Yep, see it fine.
All right, thank you. I caught you just as your phone was ringing. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to start here. As I said, we're going to go through those add-ins and show it to you from that perspective of the different ways cleanDocs adds in with the different tools on your desktop, starting off with sending on Outlook. So I have an email here that I'm sending to an external email address. I've attached a Word document that I know has a bunch of metadata in it, as well as track changes and comments. I'm going to clean this with my default Collaborate policy, and after it's cleaned, my sent folder will contain a clean copy of this attachment. So click on Send here, and up pops the cleanDocs integration. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with the default policies now, and then we'll drill into some of the details here as we work through the other add-ins. So I have my default Collaborate policy picked here. This is my document here. I'm going to focus, I'm just going to clean the document. You can clean and PDF it or skip cleaning. Some of our clients choose to gray out this option of skip cleaning, so users don't do this because they could be inclined to find the fast way around it. But I'll show you how fast this is, and skipping is not necessarily any faster. So I'm just going to say process and send this document. And as I explained before, the collaborate policy is going to prompt me if there are any track changes or comments in this document, and let me decide what to do with those. So in this case, I've set up this policy to check that if I just say process and send and do nothing else, it will remove those comments or track changes. In this case, I want to keep the track changes here because that is a red line markup and send this off to the client. So this will clean everything in the document but leave track changes here. You could set up this policy so it prompts you, but these boxes are unchecked, and then the user has to check them to clean them. Depends how you want to do it. So let's go ahead and do process and send here, and it cleans that fast. Off it goes, and then in your sent items, here is the clean document, and if I were to open this up here, let's go ahead and open this up. I will show you what metadata is left in here. So the track change, I told it to keep that. That is still there, but if I go into File and Info, let's show all the properties here. All of the metadata has been stripped out. The only thing in there now is the last modified date, which is right now when I opened it up. You're asking why does it show 3:17 a.m.? Because as I mentioned before, our company is based in Australia, and this is the current time in Australia right now, where this machine is located that I'm using. All right, let's now close that, and we'll do another email and grab that same attachment. We're going to look at the Outlook ribbon button. So that's a good way to show what we're doing there. Just attach that file. Just going to grab from the desktop for now. Put in that document. So now a user could prefer to not necessarily send when they clean when they send it, but they want to look at what's in the document before they send it, and maybe you can clean it there. So you can load it into your new email, whether you're bringing it from the desktop or from iManage, and you'll see here there is a clean attachments button. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that, and you bring up the same interface. You're going to get familiar with this interface here because we're going to look at all the different integration points. So let's say the user first wants to look at what is in here before they clean it. You can choose to click on Analyze, and it quickly analyzes the document to see what's in there. I can then drill into the details of the metadata in this document. I just clicked enlarge so I can see the full screen here. And this will show you all the different possible metadata elements that could be in a Word document that we can strip out or change. So notice here, if I drill into the built-in document properties, there are various subfields of here. In addition to the values that we can strip out when we clean the metadata, you'll notice that we can actually add new values in here. So if a user were so inclined and wanted to spend this much time on it, they could drill into this document and say, for this document, I want to change the company name to, let's say, ICS. And I want to add some new comments here, comments for Ted, and whatever you have in here. So I can manually add new values in here, or I could create a policy that not only strips out whatever the current value is from the document, I can always put my company or my firm's name in there, the name of the user. So we don't just remove existing metadata, we can also put in the metadata we want to be seen when it's received by the outside world. Likewise, any of the fields that we're cleaning out, this will show you what is present in the document. I can decide that, you know what, in addition to being prompted for the comments and track changes, I can say go ahead and leave those document statistics in here. You can gray these options out so users can't go in there. But the point I'm showing you is if a user wants to be very interactive with this, they can do that and make changes before they clean a document. And then once you're done making those choices, you process, clean the document. Now when I send this out, this document's already cleaned, no need to clean it again. So that is the Outlook ribbon button. We're now going to look at integration with cleaning a document in place from the Windows File Explorer. So I'm going to minimize this, and this can be a document on your desktop. This can be on a subfolder of your C drive. This could be out on the H drive somewhere. Likewise, this could be a folder full of documents, and you can batch clean multiple documents. So I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to pick Clean with cleanDocs. And I'm going to show you a few different options here. So we're still sticking with the collaborate policy. I will show you alternative to that shortly here. And I want to show you another neat option here. If say you want to rename a document and or password protect it, or for that matter, rename and or password protect a folder full of documents and put that on a thumb drive to give to a client, or as you email it out here, before you process it, you can say right-click, rename, and let's give this a new name, new document. Not being very creative here, we'll say new document name, and I can't type. And so now I've given this document a new name. I also want to password protect the copy I'm sending out to my client or putting on a thumb drive. So I can say enter password. And I can say, I'm just going to be, for kicks here, put in the password. And I'm going to use the password. If I had multiple files in here, say I had 5 different documents, I could apply that same password to all of these. And I'm going to add that to all unencrypted documents. Okay. Let's confirm that password. Make sure I typed it right the first time. Yes, I did. Okay. So now I am cleaning a document in place using the collaborate policy, and I'm going to process it. So it's going to ask me, well, since you're cleaning it in place, do you want to replace that existing document with the same name? Do you want to save as a copy or save as? Let's do save as a copy now. Now remember, I am using the collaborate policy, and I've told it to prompt me if there are track changes and or comments. So with that same policy, I get the same actions here. I'll go ahead and accept that, say continue, and you should now see pop up on my desktop the copy that I created. Let's go ahead and try to open that, and you'll see it now prompts me for a password. So it's a very quick way to password protect documents before you send it out if you want to add an extra level of security when you're sharing documents with your clients. Any questions so far? Everyone is on the edge of their seat here and soaking up everything I'm saying, I'm hoping. All right. We're going to look at cleaning a document in Microsoft Word. You're probably getting tired of seeing the same interface here, but that is the point here. I want to make sure you understand all the different integration points and how they work. So I have a document open in Word that I pulled up from iManage or from my local file system. And the same thing, I want to be able to analyze within this document and or clean it from within the document itself. We add a ribbon to Word called DocsCorp. And for each of our applications, we add a section to that ribbon. So for the cleanDocs section, we have clean and analyze. So let's just look at what's in this document. Simply click on analyze, and that same workflow I showed before from cleaning the document or processing the document from the desktop pulls up here. It shows you what's in this document. You can decide what you want to change or clean. You can save this as a report. And if you're so inclined, then clean it from within Word. So lots of different integration points here. We're getting closer and closer to the iManage share. Let's switch over to iManage now. And actually, no, before we do that, I wanted to show you one more thing on the policies with sending from Outlook. So let me take that back and create a new email, grab that same document from my desktop, and call it metadata, send it to my, let's see, external email address. And now I want to show you, let's see, the policy I'm going to show you is leave track changes, no prompt. So my users are always sending out track changes or quite often sending out track changes, and they don't like that extra prompt to tell me to decide to do it or not. Or I know that their user behavior is they're going to always click next and not read things, and they're going to inadvertently leave track changes in when the client needs to see them. So I have set up in this one a policy called leave track changes in documents. So I can either set this as the default or give the user the option to pick this one. You'll see here we have about, 8 or 9 different policies in here. You can only show the policies you want the user to see. You can have only one policy if you want. In this case, I want to pick this alternative non-default policy, leave track changes and comments. As you see, you can name it really whatever you want, so it's best understandable to the client. Likewise, you can put any description you want here, so it doesn't have to be too succinct and vague for the user. And when I say process and send now remember, we know that there are track changes and comments here. I want to clean everything from this document, but I want to leave track changes and comments, but I don't want to be prompted. So process and send, off it goes, that fast. See how fast that cleans? That is, literally as fast, if not faster, than saving a document. So we got a great boost in speed in our design concept. Okay, I'm going to switch to this instance of iManage here, and let's take a look at this document here, and let's clean this document in place in FileSite and create a new version of it cleaned in FileSite. So I simply go clean with cleanDocs. And there you go. You see it again, the same interface. So this interface pops up a lot, depending on how you want to use it. I have the same policies here. Say I want to, in fact, remove the changes here and save this as a new version. I can do that. Do I want to overwrite the file? Sure. Okay. Now let's go look at. Let's grab these 3 documents here, and let's say I want to now share these with my client in this iManage share folder here. I want to make it available to them in the portal they access via their login in their internet browser of the documents I'm sharing with them. The ways I can do that are I can say copy this to the client folder or send it to a secure link. Let's start off with copy to the client folder. So we're now pulling up iManage Share. And I have these 3 documents here. I can have these options here of copy to folder, send it, or copy to the clipboard. So say copy to folder here. So I'm going to take a copy of these, put it in a folder outside of iManage that's accessible to the client in their browser. So before I send it there, I want to clean them. So there we go, the same interface. And all the policies you have here, you have accessible when you load documents to share them out there securely. I could also add passwords to those. So everything I showed you now you can accumulate and use for sharing documents securely. So, by default, that iManage Share folder is secure, but if you want to add an extra layer of security, you can add passwords to those. I'm not going to do it here. I just want to show you that option to do so. And then as I copy documents out there, I can choose which policy to clean them with. I want to go ahead and leave all the track changes and comments here because this is a client I want them to see that. So I'm going to pick that leave track changes and comments, process. It's taking a little bit longer since I have 3 documents here. So now let's go out and take a look in my folder here for the client. Hold on a second. No, let it keep copying. I'm going a little too fast. It's processing. So they've been copied to the client folder. Let's now go out to my iManage Share folder. See if I remember my login here. Luckily, it remembered it for me, thankfully. Okay, so 3:31 time in Australia. Here are the documents that have been loaded into there. As you can see, I loaded some documents in there earlier, but here are the documents I just loaded in there. Let's go ahead and open one of these up. And we will download that. How do I download here? There's the download button. Just put that on my desktop for now. And then go back to my desktop. I'll actually download it as a PDF. So, oh, that's right. iManage Share does render it as a PDF, so I have to look at how to get that down as a Word document, but that's fine. Let's look at, we didn't really look at metadata cleaning in a PDF, but there is metadata in a PDF. So if we go to File, Properties of the document, there's no metadata in here. We have cleaned it all out. Like I showed you earlier, we could put metadata in there, so if you want to see who the title or author is that I've decided to put in there, you can add that. For now, we've just stripped everything out of there. Let's go back to iManage Share here, close this out. So we took those 3 documents and we loaded them into the client's folder. There are other ways I could use iManage Share. I could, we copy to the folder here, I can send a secure link. So if I want to send these as a secure link in an email, that's going to put them in a folder as well, and then they can download those, but we want to make sure that the copies they download have no metadata in there, only the metadata I want in there. So if I click on send here, again, cleanDocs pops up. This time, let's go ahead and leave the track changes comments in there. No, we'll use the collaborate policy and we'll strip them out, just showing you the different options you can do. We'll say process, off they go. And in a moment here, we're going to get a new email with that link in there, which I can now send off to the client. Here it is. So this is directly going to iManage Share, and the document this is going to go open up is already cleaned. Finally, I'll just pick one document this time, and I think you've seen this when I've shown it so far. I can do this either via the send secure link or copy to client folder. It gives you the option to, instead of sending it, copying it to the clipboard, then I can paste it into maybe an existing email, what have you. Again, same thing pops up. cleanDocs pops up. You get the same policies. You decide what you want to clean. Do you want to rename it? Do you want to add a password? Add PDF security if you'd like. You can clean and PDF it, copy to the clipboard. Then what's in the clipboard is the cleaned document, and you paste it wherever you want. So that is cleanDocs Desktop with iManage Share and a variety of other integrations. I do not see any questions, so everyone is nodding, emphatically saying that is great. How can I get that? Well, let's switch back to our slides. Bear with me here for a moment. And we'll go back to the end of here and questions. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you don't want to ask questions now, this is how you can contact us. There is Ted's email. There is my email. If you want to see any details of iManage Share, cleanDocs server, test this out, please let us know. Ted, anything you would like to add here in conclusion?
Nothing much. Thank you, everyone, for your time and attendance. We really appreciate you joining us. And as Bob mentioned, our contact info is there. If you need any additional information, please feel free to reach out. In any case, you'll get a follow-up email from us with the recording and an opportunity you like. So thanks again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day.